has become a local legend. He is known as the happiest comic in Rockford. He produces several shows along with his partner Chris Nelson, aka the Axl Rose of Rockford. Please welcome to the stage, Scott Galvin!
Let's keep it going. More importantly than that, keep your children away from Mike Hatchell. In fact, keep your kids away like his hair is staying away from him. I love you, Mike Hatchell. It's because I don't want to have kids, so I can invite you over to my house. Or I should invite you over anyway and you'll scare them away. My name is Scott Galvin. It's a well-known fact about me, but the Scott Toilet Paper Company was named after me. It's because I take care of shit. That's an oldie but a goodie. Speaking of taking care of shit, broke up with my girlfriend recently. She told me I could be anything I wanted to be, so I became single. Another little known fact about me is that I have a lazy eye. It's also the one I have the most in common with. I like to read whole books. I also like to get roadhead. I don't accomplish neither of these things as often as I'd like. I always drool when I come, but I don't always come when I drool. I mean, when 9/11 happened, I woke up in my electricity class in a puddle of drool. Imagine how embarrassing it would have been if I had came to. Marcos calls that my 9/11 joke. I call it drool. When I was a kid, I used to go down to the park and collect acorns. Try to get as many as I could at one time. I'd play with them, take the tops off of them. Sometimes I'd crush them right in the palm of my hand, throw them on the ground when I was done with them. Now as an adult, I do the same thing with women. Oh, man. This girl told me that her heart stops when she sees me. I thought that was pretty romantic until I noticed the pill bottle next to her. I was banging this girl the other day. All I could think about was that I needed to buy cat food. It's a joke about unbalanced pH. Awful. Shame on you for laughing at that. Because that means I have to keep telling you. This girl came up to me at the bar. She was hitting on me and I was like, I'm glad you came to talk to me because you're just my type. She said, what, blonde? I said, no, you approached me. That's how I like some. Oh man, let's give it up for the stoner buffet. I was definitely prepared for that. I made sure to not eat all day, and yesterday when I ate chili dogs, so I knew I'd be cleared out today. Ready to stuff my face with more shit that I shouldn't be eating. Oh man, I blew a tire the other day and I was driving around on a donut tire and I got pulled over. When the cop came to the window, he's like, you know why I pulled you over? I said, because of my tire. Cops like donuts. He asked to see my insurance. I said, honestly, I don't have any. But isn't honesty the best policy? Just kidding, I have Allstate. This girl, she asked me for a copy of the porn we made together. I said, you're just going to have to download it off the site I sent it to like everybody else. Awful. Oh man. I'm really excited that Chris Nelson showed up. I wasn't expecting that. I mean, he's here physically. I don't know if he's here mentally, but it's whatever. Being single, I realize that I'm pretty shitty with pickup lines like most people, but I kind of take pride in some of the shit I say to girls, like, what's up, girl, you trying to get slept with? Or, hey, I just broke up with my girlfriend, you want to be my new low standard? Oh, man. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. If I get turned down though, I came up with a good line, I'm like, you know, It's just as afraid of you as you are of it. It being my penis. Back in February, everybody was writing Pope jokes. I tried to write one myself, but I got upset because I realized I have a car that everybody makes fun of. I wear a hat all the time. I don't really get laid, I just talk about it. And then I realized that I am the Pope. Also, back in February, I had sex with a stripper. Let's give it up for that. Now, if you're from Rockford, you know that they don't really strip around here. So she was just a slut. Didn't expect to have feelings for her, but when I did, it reminded me of that fucking shitty song that came out like 8 years ago called In Love with a Stripper. But since we live in Rockford, it's more like the radio edit version, In Love with the Dancer. Or as I like to think of it, not as good. Fuck you for not laughing at that. That's my impression of David Drake. Oh man, this girl, she was complaining the other night that my typing was keeping her awake. She said I was being rude. I said, you're rude if you expect this girl to have cyber sex with herself. It was Mike Hatchell's wife.
Oh, you dickhead.
He wasn't pleasing her because he was out chasing little kid jokes, little kid comments, whatever. That's what happens when you're lazy, Mike. My ex used to hog the bed at night. And I thought it was weird because I never figured out who let her out of her cage after I fell asleep. She used to tell me that it was hard to sleep when I wasn't there. I said, well, you must be forgetting you got a roof for yourself. She used to try to get me to watch porn with her. I was like, you think I would go to Subway and then come home and watch the Food Network? That's not how it works. And then she would try to get me to go to a strip club with her. And I was like, that's like taking a sack lunch to a buffet. And then we broke up when I had carry-out. We were at Home Depot, and then I fucked this joke up. Kinda, not really. You wouldn't have known that if I hadn't said that. This is what you're dealing with tonight, people. You didn't pay to get in, or did you? No? Alright. Because we're celebrating me and Chris Nelson tonight, so we shouldn't be charging anybody for anything, because we shouldn't even be celebrating us, honestly. Anyhow, we're at Home Depot, and she tells me she wants to spend the rest of her life with me. I thought that was romantic until I realized we were there so she could get a stepladder and some rope. We got out in the parking lot. I hit her with my car because I wanted some of its beauty to rub off on her. That's a lot funnier if you see my car. It's a 1990 Cavalier. It's blue and it's pretty beat up. I was going to nickname it the Blue Blazer, but it survived its accident. Wrestling fan. Yes. Yes. I dated this girl one time and her vagina was so loose that if it were the great Chris Benoit had on his wife and kid, they'd still be with us today. People make fun of me and my girlfriend because we break up all the time. They're like, why do you guys keep getting back together? It's like, well, I still haven't found a punching bag that'll blow me after I beat the shit out of it. When her friends used to come out and see me, they used to be like, when are you going to tell the girlfriend jokes? I want to hear the girlfriend jokes. And being known for one type of joke kind of made me feel like I was the Jeff Foxworthy of Rockford. By that I mean all the people that laughed at me were retards. The key to that joke is retard. In case you're taking notes. I realized the other day while I was exercising that riding a bike is a lot like having sex, where if you start off too quick, you're just going to end up getting off and walking. That's a joke about coming too soon. Best part about being single now is I get to sext girls and not feel bad about it. When I end a sex message, I like to end it with Lilas, Lylas. Means love you like a sister. Welcome to Rockford. They say every day is a 5-hour energy day. That's my excuse for sleeping 19 hours. I bought a can of bootleg Planters peanuts the other day from Aldi. I couldn't tell the difference, but it was safe to say that I had all these nuts in my mouth. I just got cable back recently, and I'd be more excited if they'd bring back Where Are They Now? Because I want them to do the first 2 episodes on Waldo and Carmen Sandiego. Thank you. Any Walking Dead fans in here? Woo! I started watching that show not knowing what it was about. I just read the title and thought it was a new reality show about Lindsay Lohan. I was really disappointed. I figured out the other day that any guy can have sex with a girl when she's on her period. He's just got to pull the right strings. I was dipping my little weenies in the barbecue sauce they provided, and it reminded me to tell that joke. I mean, you can get it done, but it's a rare occurrence. I heard there's this video game coming out. It's wheelchair basketball. It's hosted by Jerry Lewis. It's called NBA Jam. That's a joke about people in wheelchairs. When I was a kid, I wanted to be like Zach Morris. I wanted to make handicapped girls feel bad about it. Zach Morris was an asshole. When I was a kid, I also wanted to be like Kurt Cobain. Dead at 27. I got till next March. Not digging the suicide jokes? Here's some more. Back in April, I just celebrated the 5-year anniversary of my friend who shot himself. Wish I had more friends like him. Thank you. Knew another guy that overdosed. I suggested on the Facebook page that we put on his tombstone he could do drugs till he was blue in the face. If he went to Harlem, that joke will hit close to home for you. Oh man. I have another friend, he sells heroin to support his weed habit. I was like, that's like mortgaging Boardwalk to buy Baltic. No damn sense. I got a DVD the other day. It was of I Don't Know How She Does It with Sarah Jessica Parker. I haven't watched it yet, but if I'm going by the title, it's about how she fools people into thinking she's attractive. Thank you. I wish Maroon 5 really did move like Jagger. By that I wish they quit making new music. CeeLo Green was a lot cooler when he was purple and hung out with Ronald McDonald. I'd like Nicki Minaj if she called herself Lady Nagaga. Too far? I'm sorry, Vicky. You look so disappointed. You scolded me online earlier for not being able to call you the N-word, even though I never have. All because of Paula Dean. I don't see the correlation, but I don't get a lot of what you say. Give it up for Vicky Lynn. She peed her pants here once laughing. Pretty sure it was during Mike Hatchell, but I wouldn't expect you guys to be able to relate to that tonight. We missed you, Mike. My friend was telling me, you're gonna hug me with your hands? I'm just waiting until October when your daughter turns 18. You're not waiting. Surprised you're still sitting there. My nickname is Applebee's, and that's because fat bitches love me. You couldn't tell with that banter just now. Oy vey. I blew the engine in my Ford Torino once. Didn't taste very well, and when I was describing the incident to my dad, he was like, "Well, did it smell like when you do a burnout, when you burn rubber?" I said, "No, it didn't smell like a burnout. It smelled nothing like patchouli." By the way, buy some patchouli scented soap while you're here. It smells very lovely. It smells nothing like my broke down old car. I should be a salesperson, right? No? They say buzz driving is the same as drunk driving. I don't agree. I never picked up any kids from school while I was drunk. Awful. I had some problems with my modem the other day, so I had to resort to using dial-up internet. Because I'm the one person that still has a landline. When I logged on, I'd forgotten about how if you get a phone call, you can get kicked off. That happened to me. I answered the phone. It was 1997 calling to tell me I'm an asshole. And I should just go to the library. Speaking of phone calls, I got a phone call from my buddy the other day. Told me he has herpes. I said, "How am I going to meet a girl now?" I said, "Dude, any girl could have herpes if you want her to." That joke is called herpes. My ex and I were at Burger King, and she was ordering my food for me, because that's how I do. Figure if you're going to pay for it, you might as well order it too. And I ordered some chicken tenders, and when they asked what kind of sauce I wanted, I said marinara. And she shot a look at me, and she was like, "That's gross." I was like, "What? Just shut up and order." So she orders an Italian chicken sandwich. Now, I don't know if you know what's on an Italian chicken sandwich, but it's bread, fried chicken patty, cheese, and marinara sauce. I was like, the only thing I did was cut out the bread and cheese. I'm going to shit mine out quicker. That's a lot sexier. That's why I get laid more than you. Terrible. Also not true. This is an old joke, but I'm bringing it back for tonight because it's a special occasion. That's my excuse for if I fuck it up. I read once that in Spain they have a citywide food fight where they just throw tomatoes at each other. And I found this article while I was trying to catch up on current events. I don't tell that joke because it bombs. You'd figure that hindsight would be 20/20. Or 57/57. That's a joke about tomatoes. I'm going to do some more oldies for you. We're coming up on like the 2-year anniversary of the lead singer from Warrant dying. Apparently heaven really wasn't too far away. Also, like a year and a half ago, one of the ex-members of Weezer died in his hotel room in Chicago. And that's not really anything special other than about a week before he tweeted that he had a dream he was going to die in Chicago. That got me worried because like a week before I read that, I had a dream that I fucked Dakota Fanning. But I woke up before I went to prison. Now I don't have anything to worry about. I'm guessing you guys didn't see The Runaways. Or you're just not as candid as me. Or it's about girls and you're Mike Hatchell, and that's why it's not funny. Enough picking on Mike Hatchell, more picking on my family. My mom was like, "Why don't you have any jokes about me, Scott?" I said, "Because I only write jokes about things I care about." I said, "Mom, if you want a joke about you, here's a good one. Remember when I was a kid, you would tell everybody I was so cute you could eat me up. Why didn't you just eat me up when I was still in my dad's sperm? Then you wouldn't have a ride to work." Let's give it up for Scott Galvin, everybody.
Keep it going for Scott Galvin, everyone. Before I bring up the headliner,